When I first started lifting, I thought I was absolutely killing it. My chest was growing, my arms were growing, and I was getting bigger. Then one day, I looked at a photo I took of myself, and I saw that one part of my body was lagging behind the other parts of my body. And that was my legs. Even one of my friends pointed out that I need to work on my legs. He specifically said that my legs need Jesus. And that stuck with me, but it changed everything. I stopped training to just look big, and then I started training to have balance, to have a balanced aesthetic physique. Now my legs have finally caught up, and my body looks overall more balanced and in proportion with all the other muscles. So in this video, I'll be showing you my 3-step method that has helped me get an aesthetic and balanced physique, so every muscle group can look strong and proportional. We'll go over how to fix your weak points, how to plan your split for balance, and how to focus on symmetry for your muscles. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to train your body so that it actually looks proportional and not only strong. So step 1 is training your weaknesses. For me, my weakness was my legs. The problem wasn't my genetics, it was my focus. Like most other guys, we like to do the exercise we enjoy, like arms, chest, back, or whatever you enjoy. Then we don't focus on the muscle groups or the exercises that we don't enjoy. For me, that was my legs. So the first rule of building a balanced physique is attacking your weaknesses first. And you may ask, why first? First, because that's when you have the most energy. At the start of your workout, you have the most energy, so you can actually focus on that specific muscle group that needs that attention. If your weak points come last, you'll be training your other muscle groups with full effort, and that weakness that actually needs improvement won't get as much attention and focus. For me, when I started training my legs first and hard, that's when I made the most progress. I started doing squats, Romanian deadlifts at the start of my workout, and I made sure to use progressive overload. That's when I saw a massive difference. I didn't do the same weights every single week. I increased my reps, I increased my weight, and that's when I started getting bigger legs. I added here and I added there, and I made sure to stay consistent. So a pro tip for you is, don't just focus on the numbers. Pay attention to the muscle that you are working on and try and develop that mind-muscle connection. Feel the muscle that you are training. It's not just about moving it. It's about activating that specific muscle. So for some, their weaknesses might be rear delts. So then focus on doing face pulls or reverse flies to activate your rear delts. If it's your lats, do pull-ups and rows so that you can focus on that part of your body. Focus your energy where it's needed. Weaknesses don't fix themselves. You have to be intentional on actually fixing those parts of your body. Step 2 is planning your split for balance. I do a full body routine 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. For me, the reason I do this workout routine is because I'm able to stay consistent for this routine. And so, for a full body workout routine like I'm doing, I make sure that I hit every single major muscle group. And here's a simple template. Legs, push, and pull. Those 3 categories. Make sure to hit the muscle groups in those 3 categories. For your legs, that could be your quads, your calves, your hamstring, etc. For pull, that will be your back, your biceps. And for push, that will be your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. So make sure that you do 2 to 3 exercises in each of these 3 categories. And for the muscle that is lagging behind, add an extra exercise or an extra set so that you can put more emphasis on that weakness. The split doesn't have to be fancy and full of exercise. It just needs to cover all your muscles, and make sure to put emphasis on your weak spots where your muscles are lagging behind. And then step 3 is focus on symmetry. Having balanced muscles and a balanced physique isn't just about size. It's about proportion and control. This is what I mean. You might have big quads, but then your hamstring is actually way smaller, and that doesn't look proportional. Doesn't look like a balanced physique. So symmetry comes from putting the same focus on each muscle group. It comes from having volume and attention on each muscle group. So you have to give the same attention to your quads as you give on your hamstrings. So here are a few tips to get that symmetry in your muscle groups. Number 1 is unilateral work. So that would be single leg squats or single leg presses or single arm dumbbell rows. that fixes imbalances in your muscle groups, because you won't have a strong muscle taking over. For example, if you're doing bench press, your left arm might be taking over. But if you're doing dumbbells, you are training your muscles independently. And the second tip is mind muscle connection. Don't just move the weights, actually focus on the muscle group that you are trying to hit. That activates the muscle group even more. Number 3 is tracking your progress visually. Take progress pictures every 3 to 4 weeks so that you can clearly see how your physique is looking. Is it balanced? Is it imbalanced? And then you can know which muscle groups needs more attention. And number 4 is prioritizing that lagging areas. Those areas that aren't building as fast as the other areas, make sure to put more emphasis on those weaknesses. Symmetry isn't automatic. It has to be intentional. You have to focus on every rep, every set that you do, so that you can clearly work out that specific muscle. And I'll be honest, for me, my legs were my weak point. I didn't really focus on them. I didn't like to go hard on my squats. I didn't like to do Romanian deadlifts. So I focused most of my energy on my upper body, my biceps, my chest, my back, and my legs started to lag behind. So then I followed this 3-step process. Training my legs first, full body session, hitting every muscle group evenly, and extra focus on the muscle groups that are lagging behind, that don't have the symmetry as the other muscles. And as a result, my legs grew exponentially. My strength improved. I could do much more weight compared to what I started with. But it wasn't a fast change. It was consistency, progressive overload, and paying attention to my legs. But that slow, intentional, consistent focus beats the random acts of focus, just doing exercises randomly. And a couple of common mistakes that most guys do is, firstly, training the muscle groups that they like. When you train those specific muscle groups and put extra effort into them, your other muscle groups that you don't like start lagging behind, and your body doesn't look as proportional anymore. A second mistake is doing the same weight every single session and not focusing on progressive overload. When you do this, your muscle won't grow as fast as you actually can. The potential that it has won't be reached because you're not giving it a reason to actually grow. Mistake number 3 is not tracking your progress. When you don't track your progress, you don't know where you left off. You don't know what you did your last session. So now when you do it this session, you're kind of guessing what you did last session, and that can affect your progress. And mistake number 4 is not focusing on proper form. When you are not focusing on your form and you're doing weird things with the exercise, one muscle group might surpass the other. One shoulder might be bigger than the other one because of the way you are performing the exercise. Avoid these mistakes and you'll be miles ahead of the other gym goers. It's not about who lifts the heaviest or who is the strongest. It's about consistent improvement. You know where you are on your journey. So don't compare your strength with someone that has been training for 10 years. Do what you need to do to build up your specific body. It's about intentional and consistent work over time. And don't look at your weak points as failures. Look at them as opportunities to learn and to grow. And when you finally see that your muscles are getting in proportion, your arms are in proportion with your legs, then you will finally see the progress and the hard work that you have put in yourself through. Do this consistently, live intentionally, and actually challenge yourself through your workouts. Because the truth is, anyone can lift weights, but not everyone can actually build a balanced, strong, and aesthetic physique. Your body won't grow itself. You have to try and make your body proportional. And when you put in the work, that's when your body will become proportional and you will finally build that balanced and aesthetic physique that you have always wanted. You will become the person you want to be by pushing through the times you want to quit.